Hey guys, it's Ryan with DP Marketing.Services. Thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time video, we do videos like this every week for plumbing and HVAC contractors who are looking to grow their business. So yeah, good to see you. Today we're coming in with a video for how to measure ROI for your marketing, especially your digital marketing. And it's something we know a lot of guys struggle with. And if you've been in business for any point of time, you've seen a bunch of different reporting styles from companies, even like us. So some of them will show you like, hey, here's how many leads and how many clicks and how many calls to your site and blah, blah, blah. We tend to be a little bit more, I don't want to say manipulative. We tend to give you raw data. So the thing with like, when you call something a lead, that's a variable. You know, every company has a different definition of a lead, and just because somebody clicked on an ad and went to your site doesn't make them a lead. And so for us, it's like, that's not really accurate. So we give a lot of like performance tracking. Here's kind of where it gets tricky on our end. It's easy to measure activity, right? So let's say you have somebody who's doing social, and so you want to measure how is our social post, what's engagement, how many new followers, how many new likes, how many new comments, how many more reviews or mentions, and those are all fair, and those are all fine. Or maybe you're measuring like SEO. So maybe you want to measure your website ranking or traffic or something like that. All of those are really fair. So for us, we track a crap ton of things. So we track, for instance, for SEO, we track how many backlinks are we creating for you? How's your domain authority? It's called a DR, your domain rating, or a PR, page rank. How are we tracking those? What are the keywords that we're ranking well for? What's the click-through rate? What's the dwell time? We track like all the behavioral stuff to make sure that all the data that should be there to measure SEO is working. If AdWords, you want to measure things like click-through rate and cost per click and cost per lead and things like that. At the end of the day, what's really hard and what's important for you that really not me and not any honest marketer can claim is that we really can't truly line up 100% of the calls 100% of the time unless we track and record every phone number, no matter what the source is. Now, we can do that. There's services that we've done before where we track every phone call, but a lot of contractors, they don't go through the analytics to actually get the full value. So it's sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. It depends on the kind of the business acumen of the actual shop. But so let's say it this way. There is no replacement other than the old school track every lead actually when you pick up the call for the first time. So that means training whoever answers the phone, if it's you, if it's someone in your office. Hey, thanks for calling. How can we help you today? Blah, blah, blah. Great. Well, we're getting you in the schedule. Can I ask, how did you hear about us? And then track where those leads came from Google, where those leads came from Facebook. Most of the time you'll find if you track like that, people won't be able to say, hey, Google search or AdWords or Maps or whatever. They'll say, I saw you online or I saw you on Google. And that might be as good of the information you can get. And then you really have to kind of track it with some of the data like that we might share. So track it with your web data to see how many people hit the click the call button, or how many people sent the form. How many, is your overall web traffic going up? Is your overall web traffic going down? Is your overall keyword ranking going up or down? It's going to take some kind of just manual correlation to make sure that the leads that you're actually fielding in the office, on the phone, and sending a tech out to do job for, that they're actually correlating with the data. We can make up report numbers all day long that say, hey, this person clicked to call you, so therefore it's a lead. In reality, it just could be a sales rep. It could not be a customer at all. Or it could be someone thinking that you do supplies. Maybe they think you sell plumbing supplies instead of actually being a plumber. So those things aren't accurate to count as a true lead, which is why we don't do that. We count it as a click to call, or we count it as a form submission. And it needs to be backed up on the office. So be careful not to take the easy way and try to take any report at 100% empirical face value. It doesn't mean that it's not useful. It just means that it's only a piece of the equation. So measure it with your calls, measure it with your experience, measure it with activity. The activities that we track are important, but for you really want to know ROI. And so then you can start doing the math, which is really the variable we look for, which is cost of acquisition. How much did you spend total on marketing? How many new customers did you acquire over that same period? So divide those numbers against each other, and that will give you a dollar sign. And that will give you an idea of how effective your marketing is as a whole. So you might not know how many leads exactly through AdWords or through Facebook or through Yelp. Maybe you can, and maybe it's somewhat accurate. But really, at the end of the day, you want to measure cost of acquisition. You want to compare all your reports and data. Don't be like a lot of shops that go, well, I don't feel like anything's coming, but then not actually track it on your end. Because what happens almost every time is that we see data that goes, no, you guys are doing fine. There's no reason you shouldn't be having phone calls nonstop. So help us to help you and track that. And really, the more you track and the more you can measure, the more you can improve. And there's no replacement for your experience on the phone. So I'd love to know what you have to think. So leave a comment if you have any questions, if you disagree. Leave us a comment below. Otherwise, sorry for the shaky camera. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in from downtown Tulsa. See you guys.